everyone. I'm Kendria. I need you to go like, follow, and subscribe. Soul Productions.
What's up, everyone? And this is Next Level Thinking. What's up, everyone? It's another episode of Next Level Thinking. It's your host, Chris Holmes, as always, and we always bring you inspirational guests. Today, we have a special guest by the name of
Onita Brown.
Awesome. So tell the audience a little bit about yourself so they can know who is Onita Brown.
Onita Brown is a country girl from deep East Texas, Nacogdoches. I'm a mother. I have 3 wonderful sons, biologically, and a son who's not biologically mine. Very determined. I am currently a nursing home administrator. I started out as a social worker. That's just a little bit about me.
Nice. I got a little background. I heard a little country in that too, country girl.
Oh yeah.
So you already know we are from Texas. You gotta say that.
Yeah.
So they are.
Yeah.
So like, of course, I want to go start with this, building the foundation. So how's motherhood? And I'm pretty sure a lot of other women would love to hear the answer on this. So like, how is the journey, the learning lessons and things like that?
So motherhood is awesome. Motherhood, just like life, has its ups and its downs. Something I always tell people, or parents, or whoever, is there is no handbook to being a parent.
At all.
You know, it's, as long as you're not abusing or neglecting your children, there is no handbook. Every day is a new day. Every child is different. They learn differently. They have different personalities, so forth and so on. They're little human beings. They're going to mess up just like we do. They're going to, prosper in their own way at their own pace. But motherhood is great. I love being a mother.
And I think this also, which goes on the next one I want to ask, it helps you build you as a person because it's challenging you in so many different ways. You got to adjust on the fly, even when there's time to time, you don't feel like it. You have your little son or daughter or something like that, to pretty much keep going, and it gives you that purpose. So answer a little bit more on that.
It does. I agree. Totally.
So like, what has been the learning lesson so far? What have you been doing before that becoming a mother has actually helped bring out of you?
What has becoming a mother helped bring out of me?
Yes, because sometimes it brings the next or the better person and things like that.
I would say it's brought my determination out of me. I'm already determined. I was always a determined child, a determined person, but I'm even more determined to make sure they do not go without or they're not lacking. And that's just not materialistically. It's, the entire human being. So I would say my determination has increased even that much more. Definitely.
Gotcha. And it circles back to that the word purpose, and your kids are your purpose of. Can you hear me?
Uh-oh. Yes.
Gotcha. All right, we are good. So what I'm saying, it brings back that meaning of the word purpose, and your kids, just from your answer, it sounds like they are your purpose and meaning of life, and that drive you to succeed even further.
Yes. They have really turned me into a new person. Definitely.
Gotcha. So I know you have some different ventures you got going on, things like that. I see, as we explained to, are you determined, great person in Texas and much more, but what are some of your ventures or ideas that you're exploring out or got going on?
Well, since I just bought my home, my next goal is to become.
Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you. It's a blessing, lifelong dream. But definitely now my focus is becoming a business owner. I do want to own some personal care homes. Healthcare, taking care of the elderly has always been my purpose. And now, since I achieved the goal of becoming a nursing home administrator, the goal of becoming a homeowner, the next thing on my list is business owner, entrepreneurship.
Okay. And like, can you explain a little bit more in depth of like why you want to go into that kind of business? It's like from your own personal experience. So explain a little bit more.
Yes. So as a child, I was always around the elderly. My grandmother was my best friend. I realized it later in life, but she was really my best friend. And when she got sick, I assisted in taking care of her, changing, putting her clothes on, taking her baths, transferring her, all of those things. So I got to see firsthand the struggles that our elderly, experience, along with the wisdom that they have to offer. So that is why I am, so passionate about the elderly in that population. My grandmother passed 12 years ago in March this year, March 31st, actually. And my purpose is to, continue my grandmother's way. And that is taking care of the elderly, having that compassion for people, that understanding, and making sure that, I'm not just making money off of them. They are being taken care of, and at the end of their lives, they're given the best quality of life possible. So that's, in a nutshell, why I'm choosing that path. That's my purpose.
Right. So I have three things. Just going off what you're saying. The first one I want to hit on is, I want to ask you this: the importance of listening. And I know this is going to be a really deep one because a lot of times we want to, oh, I know it all. I can do it by myself. And you got to take time. I just like, hold up, wait a minute. You got to be a student and learn. So like from your experience with the elderly and much more, tell the importance why it is to stay a student and keep learning throughout your life.
Well, because nobody will ever know everything. And I think the more that you learn, the better person you become. The more that you listen, because you have to listen. You have to close your mouth in order to become wiser. You have to. And, the elderly, they've experienced things we probably will never experience in this lifetime. Like the wars, World War II, and the Great Depression, and all of those things. So, people say you can't teach me anything if you haven't been through it. That is not true. That's not true. Because, their experience, which is the best teacher, can deter me from going down the wrong path, or not doing the right thing. So yeah, that is why listening and being wise is so important. And not only is it important for your life, it's important for your success throughout this life.
Mm-hmm. All right. And the next thing I want to ask you is, you hit on something key, is the passion for the people, and not treating every people just like objects and things like that, but actually have compassion for them, love and long to get part of their life and things like that. And I think that right there is something very important, not only in life but in business as well, because it's a long way. But I'm gonna let you have the mic on this and go a little bit further on that.
So having compassion and understanding will, how could I put this? It will cause
Sunday.
Because when you're dealing with people, they really just want you to listen to them and give you their heart and give them your full attention. That's the kind of things they want. It goes along even with customer service. They just want to know that you care about their life experience or what they're experiencing at that moment. So that comes from the social work side of me too. But
And there
being
was a
able to
hidden
be
quote in there.
What now?
I said, and there was a hidden quote in there.
What's that?
I'll let you listen to it later. You
Okay.
find out.
Okay. I do that a lot. I tend to create my own quote. But yeah, I mean, it's just so important for people to know that they're loved and they're cared for, and people understand their journey, and they're not just all about, their own journey. It's very important.
Excellent, excellent. And going off of that, also, now this is when come from my own grandparents too, is learning from the mistake of others so you don't repeat.
Yes.
Because of course we'll have our times where we make our mistakes and things like that, but it's wiser to learn from
Mm-hmm.
others. That way you don't go through the same thing. So go ahead.
You said expand on that?
Yeah, go ahead, expand on that.
Well, I mean, who wants to go through undue hardships? Things you don't have to experience. We've always heard a hard head makes a soft behind, especially in the country. That is so true. And me personally, I have experienced a hard head making a soft behind. But I mean, in your 20s when you're young, you don't really think things through. But now in my 30s, I have had a lot of aha moments. I can hear my grandmother's wisdom playing over and over in my head so many times. And it right now is preventing me from a lot of undue hardships.
And she probably
So
going like, I told you. It took a little minute, but listen.
yes, I'm telling you, gosh, it's so many times I've heard her voice in the back of my head.
So
Yeah.
also going off of that too as well. Now I'm gonna switch it around. What are some of the now that's gonna kind of like be like a kind of strange question, but what are some
Mm-hmm.
fears that you know you have to overcome? Now a lot of times I kind of phrase differently, but this is more the transparency because I want to know like everybody's human,
Mm-hmm.
everybody, what may seem like you may see the mountain, but you don't know all the thing that's underneath all the time. So what are some things that you know you got to overcome to get to where you need to be?
Fear of failure.
Okay.
I have a fear of failing because, I have so many people depending on me. And, the way I came up, you know, impoverished. I didn't have a lot. I had a good childhood, but, I can remember, not having uh, the best clothes, the best pairs of shoes, all of those things, which it doesn't matter now, but because it made me who I am. But failing um, is a great fear of mine, and not being able to make money. Becoming disabled to where I cannot make money and be an able-bodied person. Those are my two biggest fears.
Gotcha. And also, that's how it makes a lot of things relatable too, because like I said earlier, everybody has their own fears. Now,
Yes.
to flip it around, going off of that, how are you addressing those or like taking it head on?
Just what you said. I take it head on. I take it in strides. Um, I listen to a lot of self-help, um, motivational speaking, on my way to work or just in my daily life. So from those types of things and my experiences, I know that failure is a part of success. You
Boom.
will fail. But if you don't get back up after those failures, then you have failed. But if you do and you stay resilient, you roll with the tide, you will be successful because you keep going. I read somewhere, I can't remember who it was. Maybe it was talking about Thomas Edison and the light bulb. They say he tried, I don't know, maybe 1,000 times, and he failed 1,000 times. And 1,001, he got it right. So if I fail 1,000 times and I don't, continue to try, that 1,001st time, I could be successful. So that's, how I address that. And, the disability part, I'm just as cautious as I can be. And, I try to eat right and I try to do right. And so far, I've been doing pretty well because heart disease and high blood pressure, it runs in my family. So right now I'm doing good. You know,
Hey,
that's how I deal with those types of things.
that's what it's all about. And like, if you really think throughout the world, that's what it really comes down to. Is like from sports and much more. Everybody's gonna make mistakes. Everybody's gonna have times where they get down, but the main thing is getting back up. I
Hmm.
mean, another perfect analogy is like watching like the sport of boxing, and you have the underdog, and like he seemed like he's just getting his tail tore in for the first couple of rounds and gets knocked down, and I
Hmm.
think it's all over, but he somehow gets his strength up. Pure shock that he's getting back up, and all of a sudden he gets one strong punch, and the whole momentum just switches.
And that's it. That's it. Never give up. You cannot give up on your dreams. Never give up. That's a perfect example of not giving up.
Yep. So what are some things you got coming up? I know you said the business and much more. What else you got going on? You doing a little bit more speaking, or like have plans to get into speaking?
Not at the moment, but it is definitely the goal of mine to create some type of outreach program for the youth. You know, I want to start a mentoring program for women who've been abused and, you know, physically, sexually, emotionally. I'm trying to get programs and outreach programs together, you know, to motivate those types of people, because trauma, it can make or it can break you. I've experienced enough. It can make you stronger or it can break you. And so I definitely think, especially in this area, those types of programs are needed. But yeah.
All right, you want a fun little challenge? You're gonna be like, really, Chris?
What is it?
I challenge you to make a Facebook group of what you just talked about to start.
To make what now?
A Facebook group about what you just said to start. Kind of
Okay.
gives you a little momentum. That's like
Yes.
one thing to say it, but when you make it physical and some other things, it kind of puts pressure on you to get it done.
I'm writing it down as we speak.
And you got yourself recorded too.
Yes. So I have to do it, right?
Yeah. Hey, but that's what you really need to like actually get things done. Which brings me to another great point of this. Everybody needs a coach. And I'm gonna break you. We basically talked
Yeah.
about it earlier, but for some reason, when we get older, we feel like we can do it all by ourselves and things like that. But if you think about it from our upbringings with our parents, even from the churches, the teachers, and sports, you need a coach. For some reason, I think when we believe we all grown up and do it all bad by ourselves, we believe we don't need a coach. But I
Mhm.
believe throughout your life, you need some kind of mentor or coach to help you stay on track. So,
Mhm.
what's your opinion on that?
I definitely agree. And I have many coaches. Um, look, I have a coach for nursing home administration. I have a coach for this life issue. That, you know, because I'm huge on learning people and learning the people I'm around. So, you know, what I can discuss with this person, I may not be able to discuss with the other person. So I find their strengths and I build on them. You know, we exchange information, but I definitely agree having a life coach, whether it's professionally, you pay them or not, is very important. And of course, the number one coach is God, right? And spirituality, bringing your problems, your worries, and your cares to Him and talking to Him. Just my personal spirituality. I believe in God, so I bring a lot to Him. What the things I feel like I can't bring to other people, I take it to Him.
Awesome answer. So, last little question I want to bring up is, and since it's a Sunday, and since I was listening to the Potter's House too, is this. Um, Everything that you want is basically outside of your comfort zone. A lot of
Uh-huh.
times when we like, oh, I want to achieve all these great things and much more, but we be like, why am I not there? It's because you're staying inside what you're comfortable with your friends is all, familiar. but everything that you really want or to obtain to get you where you want to be is outside of your comfort zones. How do you feel on that?
It's very, that was my confirmation, because I also heard something of that nature today about things being uncomfortable. If you want something, because I was watching Keon Henderson, The Lighthouse, that's true. It's not going to be comfortable. If it's worth having, if it's worth working for, if it's going to last, will not be comfortable. You do have to step out of your comfort zones. You're going to get anxious. You're going to cry. You're going to be sad. All of those things are going to happen. You got to be happy. You're going to experience all of those emotions. But you have to be willing to think outside of the box, hang with different groups of people, different types of people, and also let go of those who are not benefiting you.
Ooh.
Because everyone cannot go to the next level with you. Everybody will not and cannot go to the next level with you. So yes, I agree. You have to step outside of your comfort zone. Definitely us being from the small towns, Definitely.
There's only one way to go, and that is up. And everything possible beyond what people try to limit you to. So very well said. So closing it out, like where can they find you? Social media is much more, so they can keep track with you and much more, and make sure that you get this group going. No, I'm messing with you.
Yes, it will happen within the next 7 days. So my Facebook name is Onita Brown, Onita Brown. Instagram, that's the only other social media site I have. Of course, LinkedIn. You can find me as Onita Brown there too. And my Instagram name is Black_Hebrew. No, hold on. I forgot. It's Black Hebrew _2016. Black Hebrew _2016. That's my Instagram name. So you probably could search my name on there too.
Cool. So
that's it.
Go ahead.
I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
All right, cool. So we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. Great interview up, great amount of jewels and inspiration, and make sure you get outside of your comfort zone to get greatness. It's your host, Chris Holmes, as always, bringing inspirational guests. And again, my special guest is by the name of
Onita Brown.
Make sure you subscribe, share the message, and keep things going so we can help you take it to the next level. Peace and much love.
Peace and love.
The way I